Harrisburg School District. Today we are celebrating Earth Day 2018 at the Governor's Residence right here in the heart of Harrisburg.
Happy Earth Day!
Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Thank you so much for joining us here to celebrate Earth Day of 2018. I'd like to thank my colleagues, our colleagues, the Conservation and Natural Resources Secretary Cindy Dunn, Environmental Protection Secretary Pat McDonald, Conservation and Natural Resources Deputy John Norbeck, for being here today. And I especially would love to celebrate and say hello to our Outdoor Corps interns from across the state who are with us today. So thank you all. I just wanted to thank all of you. They all have the official blue shirts. Thank you. And thank you so much for the work that you're doing to improve state parks across the state. The theme for Earth Day here in Pennsylvania this year is everyone plays a part in keeping Pennsylvania clean. And here at the residence, we are always trying hard to play our part for looking for new ways to go green. Today, I'm very proud to announce the unveiling of our latest green feature here at the residence, a newly constructed rain garden that was designed and built by DCNR landscape architect Andy Evans and Penn State landscape architecture student Zoe Roan Hopkins. And I think they're here. Thank you so much. And I hope after all the formal part of the program that you all have a chance to walk that way and take a look. The work that Zoe and Andy, as well as the staff here at the residence, put into this project is absolutely incredible, and the results will have an impact on this space for years to come. This is one more step in our efforts to conserve energy, minimize waste, and provide more means to sustainable living here at the residence. For example, at the residence, we have solar panels. We also have a geothermal heat pump which supplies heat and cooling to the residents. We recycle all of our glass and plastic, paper, and cardboard. The space is also home to a series of herb and vegetable gardens, including a new raised bed vegetable gardens that are accessible to all visitors, with themes such as a yuck garden, so that children and visitors can learn about home gardening in a fun way. And they're all at that part of the garden. And I'm very proud to say that our chef, Barry Crumlick, uses the produce from that garden for the cooking here at the residence. We also have a new observation beehive so that we can see the honey making process and learn how important bees are to our environment. And all of those are under the arbor over there if you have a chance to take a look. And we use that honey in the cooking here at the residence. Tom and I are so very proud of all of the steps that we have taken and that all of you are taking to help the Governor's Residence, which is the home of the people of Pennsylvania. And it is an example of how we can all play our part to make a difference in our communities and in our environment.
We are broadcasting from the Governor's Residence where we are celebrating Earth Day 2018, and I'm joined with Pat McDonald, the Secretary of the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. Sir, so pleased to meet you today. Thank you for having our students here and for sharing about the importance of protecting the environment. So if there were 3 key takeaways that you would have for our students to learn and take back to their schools today, what would that be?
Sure. So there's 3 things in particular that you'd see here. One, and I think one I like to talk about all the time because it's one of those that when you ask the average Pennsylvanian, what can you do to protect the environment? What did you do? Recycling, right? Everybody recycles here in Harrisburg and across the Commonwealth. So that's something that you can certainly make sure you're doing. Second thing would be managing storm water on your property, rain. So you can see behind us here we have rain barrels. That's one way. These are hooked up to gutters. Those rain barrels will fill with water off of the rain gutters instead of flowing into streets and down into storm sewers and carrying all that pollution with it. And they can use this water to water the grounds here and don't have to pay for new water, fresh water, in order to do that.
What is another key takeaway that not only our students, but also we as adults can do as good citizens and protectors of the environment?
Sure. So here on site, there's solar panels to produce electricity, and the costs for those kind of technologies have come way down.
I just want to thank you because you've said quite a bit in our short time together,
Yeah.
how we can protect the environment with the focus on climate change, climate protection, and also awesome learning lessons for our children, not only in the classroom, but live learning lessons right here on site at the governor's residence right here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Secretary McDonald, we want to say thank you for joining us and thank you for all you're doing to protect the environment.
Thank you so much. And the key theme here is we need everybody's help if we're going to get there. It's not one department, one government, one city. It's every student, every resident of the Commonwealth.
Fantastic. There you have it from Secretary Pat McDonald. And what we're saying is all hands on deck. It's Earth Day 2018 and our students are learning to protect the environment. Let's keep it going and we're going to find more fun activities right here at the governor's residence. I'm joined with Mr. John Norbeck with the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources and Mr. Peter Gernsheimer with the Student Conservation Association. Mr. Norbeck, let's start with you. Tell us about the work of DCNR.
Sure. DCNR, we manage 121 state parks, 2.2 million acres of state forest land.
Amazing.
We provide all kinds of outdoor recreation opportunities for folks, forest products. Some of the forest products that the Outdoor Corps is using today, the thermally treated hardwood, is from Pennsylvania hardwood forests.
Awesome, awesome. And you have a special interest with the Conservation Corps. Tell us about that.
Sure. So the Pennsylvania Conservation Corps is kind of a remake of the 1930s and 1940s Civilian Conservation Corps. So it's a program that hires youth and young adults and provides them job training. They provide them training in conservation and outdoor recreational opportunities.
Pretty amazing. And now let's bring in Mr. Peter Gernsheimer, and you're with the Student Conservation Association. Let's tie it all in with the Conservation Corps and the students that you work with.
Sure. So the Student Conservation Association is a national nonprofit that connects youth and young adults with conservation jobs around the country, whether that's national parks, state parks, down to local municipalities. And so we're really partnering with DCNR and Department of Labor and Industry at the state level to bring this sort of youth and young adult career development and conservation programming to the Commonwealth.
Why is it important to get young people involved in these efforts as we look at protecting our environment and conservation and recycling and climate change? Why is it important, gentlemen?
Well, I can start out with that. I think, for me and talking to these young people, they're the ones that are going to be doing this work in the future. They're the future. They're the generation that will be working in these parks and forests, working on conservation programs and working with the changing environment. And so getting them oriented in these skills and getting them bought into kind of the conservation message, I think is really important at this age, as well as just providing some good out of high school or out of college career opportunities.
We're joined with Secretary Cindy Dunn from the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. You were talking about a woman who was a botanist, and her work sounded pretty amazing.
Yes.
Right here in Harrisburg, right along the river, beautiful riverfront. Tell me about this awesome person that you were kind of bringing forth, giving us a live history lesson.
Okay, her name was Myra Lloyd Dock, and she lived around the turn of the last century. And in 1900, she was named to sit on Pennsylvania's Forest Commission, which was unheard of at that day and age. First of all, women didn't vote, women didn't get education, and women certainly didn't get named to government positions. But she was so remarkable in her leadership that they put her on the Forest Commission. So her job was to travel by train and by carriage to the remote forests of Pennsylvania and select which land would become part of our forest.
Have you ever seen the movie The Lorax?
Yes, that is the best movie.
Yes, it
absolutely.
is. So as I think about celebrating Earth Day today here at the governor's residence, I think about that movie and the importance of planting a tree.
It's very important. It's a simple, easy thing everybody can do, and it makes a big difference.
Fantastic. And what kind of tree do you have here?
This is a white pine. It's native to Pennsylvania, and we focus on native trees. White pines are great because they provide habitat year-round. They're conifers. They keep their needles. Their leaves are needles, and so they're green year-round. So they're great habitat. They provide pine cones that are good food for birds. So it's a good tree. But there are a lot of great trees out there.
There you have it from Secretary Cindy Dunn. Again, we are live here at Earth Day 2018 at the Governor's Residence with our First Lady, Mrs. Frances Wolf, and we're going to keep it going with the focus on our students, so stay tuned for more. Join with the students from Scott Elementary School. Hello, Scott! Hi! I'm joined with Mrs. Goldberg. Tell us what this experience means for your students from a learning perspective.
This is really amazing because actually we've been talking about like this Harrisburg, living in Harrisburg.
We're doing a geography B.
We are doing a geography B, so we're learning all about the state that we live in, and so it was really cool for them to be right next to the Susquehanna River, and just for them to get to plant their own plants now too. So it's been really, really great.
Is there one key takeaway that you'd like for them to have today?
Just that how important the earth is, and I think that was really important for them to listen to those people talk to us. And so they said, Ms. Goldberg, yesterday was Earth Day, and I said, I know, but every day we have to take care of the earth because we live here. So I think that's really important for them to see that today.
Hello, Harrisburg School District. We are broadcasting from the beautiful Governor's Residence right here in the heart of Harrisburg. I'm joined with First Lady Frances Wolf. Thank you so much for inviting our students here today.
Thank you so very much for coming. All of us are very humbled and excited that you are here, that you chose to come here to celebrate Earth Day in this spot, at this house. And we're really trying hard to sort of show off the work that different agencies of the state are doing, and for all of the students really to come to know that they have a very important hand in preserving our environment and not just keeping it as it is, but to making it better. And a lot of the students have a plant, a tree, a white pine tree. Some have tomato plants. Some have eggplants, and seeds as well.
And
Thank
seeds
you.
as well, yeah.
So, I hope everyone goes home and has a chance to find a very special spot in their gardens, and to watch something that they have as a gift, and to watch it grow, and to help purify our air, to keep our streams clear. But I think this is important for all of us to learn about what it is to be a good neighbor and a good steward of the world around us.
Thank you, Mrs. Wolf.
And thank you back.
Plant a tree!